Hello everyone. Today I am going to make this all over print sweater design. Some of you are just asking for all over print designs, but this kind of designs are really hard to make, guys, because you need to understand a lot of things of Photoshop and of course the Illustrator. So for making this kind of designs I need a template. So this is the Teespring all over print sweater template, not t-shirt template. You can see this is the front, this is the back, this is the slip, and this is the collar, this is the waistband. So you need to design them separately, and for designing them I need to, you can do this design process in Illustrator. I did that. I was just designing it in Illustrator, then I was just adjusted them in my template like this. You can see this is the designs here. So I will give you this template, guys. Of course, if this is the Teespring official template, you can use this, but okay, sorry for that. I don't know where that gone. Okay, let me just bring that inside the, this is the all over print. This is my, okay, this is the design I actually made. This is made with the that premium patterns I gave you yesterday in my group. So as you can see, this is a huge amount of work here, guys. For working like this you need to have a good configuration computer. So as you can see, this is the main design I make for that all over print t-shirt. So I didn't do anything fancy. This is just all these elements from that vector bundle, that Christmas bundle. You can see I make them in three part, and for the three part, if you, if I select them, okay, this is going to take some time because this is a lots of tons of design elements inside this. So as you can see, this is a all over print t-shirt sweater template, like a final design. So we need to understand one thing, that they are making a bottom part, a center part, and a top part, and then they are applying that same for the sleeve also. They are keeping this waistband area, this cuff area, and this collar area red, background color they are keeping it black. So I'm going to follow that, but in my own style. So this is the top part, this part is top. Then this text and the other graphics that I made here, this is the center part, and this area is the bottom part. So I'm going to export them in three separate files. Okay, so first of all I need to export my files. So I'm selecting them like this. Okay, before starting, I take a 4000 by 4000 artboard here, of course in 300 dpi. Then I place my designs like this. As you can see, if I zoom in, this is the all the elements from that same vector pack. I just place them, and this is the font you will get there. This is not a font actually, these are text. So I take them like M, then E, then double R, then Y, and place them like this to make this Merry Christmas to everyone. That's it. Then I place the top part here. So after selecting the top part here like this, I am going to right click, go to export selection. It will give us this asset export option, not in artboard. You can see this is not export, we are not exporting the artboard. Artboard will export everything together here, but we are going to use this asset option. Then asset is when we are selecting anything, we can export only that selected part. That is, that's it. So if I make it, name it like top, so let's name it like T, then set it as PNG, click on this export asset, and it will be exported. So as you can see, this is going to export a PNG image of my selected object. This is going to take a lot of time, guys. I already made a video, but there was some problem with my recording sound. So as you can see, if I open this, this is the top element we made, and it is high resolution 300 dpi. So that's it, this is the top part. Then we need to select our bottom part here. Just select it like this, maybe. Okay, this is going to, I make this center point a group. If I select this group, I can right click and then I can go to export selection, then I can export that. Okay, let's name it C for center, export asset. It will export that as a PNG. So that's the way of exporting these images or the parts. So once we have, I'm going to close this one because this is really high resolution graphic, so it is going to cause me some trouble for my design here. So let's come to the Photoshop. Okay, I'm just checking if my sound is working good. That is good. So now in this template you will get it like this. I'm going to select this three layer. Okay, not that one, just this one and this one, then pressing delete for erasing that, then turning on this background layer. It is giving me this black view. So I am going to double click here to change the colors. I need to make it something darker red of Christmas sweater, so that's good for us. Press OK. So as you can see, this is now our background. This is the template layer. That means if you turn this off, it will give us this blank design, and we need to do this design, like arrange them inside our design. You can see that's a tons of layer here. So I'm going to show you guys again. So first of all, I need to, when my template layer is selected, I'm pressing control and then clicking here, control click, it will create a layer below. So I am taking, placing that here in between these two layer. Then as you can see, I created this green part for my design because this is looking like this on final. So I am going to do that here also, and for doing that I need to select. So I'm using my selection tool. Let's make it a bit smaller. So I need to select my this sleeve like this, just like this, so that it becomes the same area selection, just like this. Then I don't want that for this area, or I can keep it for this area also, no problem. Then press shift for adding the selection. Then if I drag a line like this, it will add this selection to my design, like this sleeve, same area selected, but I don't want that for this two, front and back. So I'm pressing alt, then if I drag a rectangle like this, it will deselect this area, but this two is now selected. And then again I'm pressing shift, then if I drag a rectangle like this area here, this part is now selected. So whatever part, okay, I don't want this part to be selected, so I'm pressing alt and dragging a rectangle, it is going to deselect. So whatever in selection right now, if we add anything or color, then it will be applied to the selected area only. So let's do that. I'm clicking here this adjustment layer icon, then go to solid color fill. I'm going to make it something darker shade of green, just like this one maybe. So press OK. You can see this will add this green effect for my design, our design. And this, of course, for this collar, this waistband, these cuffs, I'm going to leave them green because this is the green, and this should be, so sorry, I'm going to keep them red. So this is the green part, then it will be added to the bottom part of the green, so it will look good like green red. First of all, the color will be red, then green, then red, green, red. It will look like that. So for starting the design process, we need those PNGs. So I'm going to bring them in my Photoshop. So these are, I was just experimenting. So you can see this is the center part, this is the bottom part, this is the top part. I exported 3 PNG. Let's open them like this, and they are of course high resolution PNG as we exported them in 3300 dpi. But for working like this, you need to export them in really high resolution, because these are actually, you need to do this in Illustrator, because these are the highest resolution. Like the template size, if I go to image and then image size, this is 17,000 by 9,000, guys. That is too much bigger, so you need to work in this much bigger size for this kind of designs. So I'm just showing you. So this is the center graphic here. So let's drag this one like this, then place it anywhere you want. You can see this is placed on top of these two color layer, so that is good. Now I need to make sure that I am placing everything in a same place, like this one should be here, that is good. Now maybe I can press Ctrl T for make it a little smaller, because I don't want it to be go beyond my, okay, whatever, whenever we are dragging it like this, if that is not selecting any design here, it is going to make a copy. So I am going to keep it here as it is right now. Then I am pressing Alt and dragging this like this, it will make a copy of my that design. Just place it somewhere like this, so that it stays in the same size, same position. Then of course for the slips I am going to use this same design, but for the slips here I am going to make it smaller, just like this, not that much bigger as the front and back. This should be smaller than maybe in center position. Okay, so these two should be. Now for this front I am using this same design for front and back, but you can do it in different way, like you can put this text for the front and then, okay, let's not use same design. So if I turn this off, this is my back layer, I am erasing that. So for the front I am going to use this design, and for the slip, so if I select this one, pressing Alt and then dragging it to make a copy, then I need to make sure that it is staying in the same position. You can see the smart guide, the pink lines, it is showing me that they are in same position. So these two slips should be in the same position. Then for this area I am going to use some other elements like the bottom PNG. Okay, so bottom PNG, let's, okay, I need to select it, let's bring it like this, bottom PNG. So let's press Ctrl T to make it bigger in size, just like this, so that it covers the all the area here. Just place it something like this, anywhere you want, just place it so that it is covering my design area. So that part is looking good for me. Let's press enter for that. Now as you can see, that is overlapping my these areas, and I don't want that. So I am going to drag some lines like this one here, then it is overlapping my waistband area, pressing shift to add this selection, then again for here. Now when this part is selected like this in this selection area, I need to press this layer mask icon, click on this layer mask icon. Okay, sorry for that, it becomes like this. So let's press Ctrl Z. Now I am going to press Ctrl Shift and I. It will make a selection, it will make that selection invert, like it will invert the selection. Okay, let me explain it. This part is now selected, only this part, but when I am pressing Ctrl Shift I, it is become a selection like the everything else is here now selected. So just press Ctrl Shift I, you can see that here, then click on this layer mask icon, sorry for that, Ctrl Shift I, then click on this layer mask icon. It will hide these selection areas and my design is now only visible, so that is good. Now I am going to press Alt and drag this layer just like this, so that I get a copy here. Now if I press Ctrl T, I can see that if that is overlapping my design or not, but that is not overlapping because we added those black lines inside the, like we added those layer mask there, so that is good. That is why it is not overlapping. But okay, I will explain this in a bit. So let me just finish the process here. So this is our top part, so let's bring the top part again in the image like this in the template. And as you can see, sorry for that, you need to make sure that you are selecting or clicking on your design, otherwise if you click here and drag, it will move that green layer. So I need to zoom in here because I need to really click on this design just like this. Then if I zoom in, zoom out, then if I press Ctrl T, it is going to, I get this selection like this. And of course I need to make sure that it is covering the entire area here. And then if I bring it up like this, it is going to cover my whole design just like this. So that is good. Now pressing enter, Now again you can see this area is now looking, this is overlapping my design. So I can simply do this, like if I drag it here like this, I will get that same design for my front and back. So that is easy for me, that is good. Now I need to apply that effect that we did here. So let's do it manually. I'm just clicking on this layer mask option. It is bring me a layer mask like this. This is the transparency. Okay guys, let me check the sound. Okay, so this is basically the transparency. If we paint anything or put anything in black here, that area will be hidden. So I'm pressing B for my brush tool. Make sure that it is 100% in hardness. Then if my foreground color is black, I can paint on any area and that area will be hidden like that area. And then of course for this area and this area also. This area, okay, sorry for that guys. I don't mean to erase this part. I'm just going to erase this part. So that is good. Now as you can see, this is looking like this for this area. My front design is okay. Now for the back design or for the sleeve, so let's drag it here like this to make a copy here, so that that same design works for our sleeve here. Then you can see that is overlapping my this area. So when that layer is selected, inside the, click on this layer mask icon, then press B for the brush tool, then paint over this area whatever is overlapping. So I don't want them to be overlapped, just like this. It is good. Now press V for the V tool. I am going to select my this design and then bring it like this. I need to make sure that it is staying in the same position. You can see the pink lines that is indicating their position. If I keep a copy here, I can work inside the layer mask, press B for brush tool. Make sure that anything is not overlapping, just like this. So that is good. Now for this bottom area, if I make a copy here, okay, sorry for that, I need to zoom in here so that I can, so that I am selecting the design. So press alt and drag this like this one, it is going to bring it like this. So we have this one here. Then inside the transparencies, inside the layer mask, press V for brush tool. Make sure that it is not overlapping anything that we don't want to be overlapped, just like this. Then press V for move tool. If I drag this one here just like this, and of course make sure that it is staying in the same position by the smart guides, just like this. That is good. Now inside this ones, whenever we are moving any layer like this, any design like this, that layer will be selected. So pressing Ctrl Z, when this layer is selected, click here in the layer mask, press B for brush tool and make sure that it is not overlapping our this design or this area here, anything we don't want to be overlapped. So that is good. Now this area is looking empty, so you can simply, like, I close that option, so you can simply bring one of these elements from there. So I'm going to press Ctrl O for open. I created one extra part that is called the extra. So you can see this is okay. If I add a background here, solid color background, then bring it down, you can see this area. I exported one PNG for this design only. So if I drag it like this, I can bring that in here. Then I am going to press Ctrl T for the scale tool, transform tool, just like this. Then I am going to place it somewhere like this, because I want to cover this area. But if you want, you can keep that. Okay, I am going to press enter. So if you want, you can fill this area with that text here, but I am not going to do that. I am going to keep the back empty like this. Just place it wherever you want. Then I don't want this to be overlap my any other elements, so I'm going to use this selection technique again. I'm selecting it like this, not inside this. So pressing shift for adding the selection, just like this. Then I am pressing Ctrl Shift I for the invert selection. Then if I click here, those area will be erased, you can see easily. Or I can simply paint with my brush tool. so that is good for me. And as you can see, my all over print design is ready. I'm going to leave them as it is red, but you can add designs there also, that's up to you. So okay, now the uploading process. So once our design is final, we need to turn off this layer, this template layer, and you can see this is looking a very messy design, but don't worry, it will work perfectly fine. So I'm going to press Ctrl Shift S for save as. Then if I name it final new, as I have already exported one as final, then I'm going to export it in PNG. Save this as a PNG file, not a JPEG file, because PNG will keep the details as it is. It is going to take some time because it's lots of file here. So once our PNG will be exported, we can easily upload that to our Teespring store or any other store. But for making this kind of designs, this is just I am showing you how to use this template or how to make this kind of designs. I am going to make another video for this explaining the process, and we are using some PNG images here, so the result will not be perfect fine as it would work like a illustrator vector, but it is not going to work like that because this is a Photoshop PNG. But don't worry, it will work good as it is a 300 dpi PNG. So you can see our PNG is exported. So let's go to Teespring. I don't need this anymore. So if I click here, I can select my design file. This is the previous one I uploaded, so let's delete that one. Click on this add image, then I'm going to, this is my final name. As you can see, I was experimenting in with different file sizes. So this is our main design, it becomes a 37 MB file, that's not a problem. So if we upload that here, we can see how our design is going to look like, and then we can always modify our design after taking a look. Like you can see, this is how our design is covering the whole area. Then if I click on this preview button, it will give me a real-time preview. So I hope guys this one will give you some idea. You can see this is how our design is going to look like. And if you want to make any changes, like if you want to make this one smaller, the text here a little smaller, you can always do that here. Like this is my text PNG, so if I press Ctrl T, I can make it smaller, or I can make it whatever size I want. I can adjust everything here, like this deers are overlapping with green and red. We can simply try to move it. Whenever you are trying to move anything, it will select that layer, and that is easy to work. So let's press Ctrl T. Then if I make it smaller like this, okay, the reason I was using that layer mask, let me show you. So if I press enter, it is looking like this part is erased, but I can always bring that back. And how? I need to click on this layer mask, then press B for brush tool. Then if I make my foreground color white, and then if I brush over any area, that area will bring back, that area will be back. And this is how we can work. So once it is looking like this, I'm going to click on this layer. Then if I go to my selection tool, then if I, okay, I need to first of all turn on this template layer, so that I am not, okay, this is overlapping here, so I'm selecting it like this. Then if I press shift and add another selection, then press shift to add another selection here. Then inside the transparency, like the inside the layer mask, press B for brush tool, make the foreground color black. We can hide this part easily, and that is really easy to work. That's why I am using the layer mask here, not erasing anything. I am just using it like this. So when we are working like this area is looking like some empty space here. So let's use our this option here, then press Ctrl T to make it smaller, like the bring in this transform option, just like this. Then fill this area, and as we have done the, if I click here, it will be pasted like this. Then I'm going to do it like click in the layer mask here, then pressing B for brush tool, then if I make the foreground white, I can simply bring these areas back. Okay, so I don't want it to be here, so press X for toggle between this foreground and background. So if when my foreground is black, I can simply paint over it, and that's how I am not erasing anything, I am just making it work like this. So let's turn on this template, then save it again as a PNG. Okay, maybe not like that. So final new is the one. Let's override that image because we don't need that. So that is actually looking good. Now if we need to make any changes after we save a export a option like this, so you can see here is some problem, but we don't know in which layer that area is. We can simply select this, like we can simply try to move this. If I turn off this template, if I try to move this area, it will show me which layer that is. So it is in this layer. So inside the transparency, turn on this template, inside the layer mask here, press B for brush tool. When the foreground is black, just paint over it, it will be hidden. So that is good for us guys. Now our PNG is saved, so let's click on this design. We don't want, okay guys, this is really huge, big file size, so it may sometime crash your browser. You can see this is our new file. Let's open that. I hope it works because my browser was crashing like 3 or 4 times. I am just worried about my sound because sometime I get like this sound is not working good. So this is now it is going to look, this is how it is going to look like. It's a 30 MB file and uploaded. So let's click on this preview. It is going to give us a real-time preview. It will take some time to generate the preview image. It is always good to work on Illustrator. I will make another video how to make this design in Illustrator, and that is the real way. We are working with PNG images, but this is not the best for printing. So that's it. Come on. Okay guys, so I hope this one will give you some idea guys how to work with all over print designs, all over print products. You need to make your design first, then you have to adjust that design inside the Photoshop template, and that's how it is going to work good. So this is not something that you can do it manually. You need that template to adjust or place your design wherever you want it to be. So that's how it is going to work. I hope this one will give you some idea guys how to work with this kind of designs. Okay guys, so as you can see, this is the final design looking like on a all over print sweater. So I hope this one will give you the idea how to make this kind of designs or how to apply them on different products. If you have the all over print hoodie or any other options, you can use them. So that's all for today's video guys. I hope this one helps you who are working with all over print designs. Thank you everyone, see you in the next video. Have a great time.